Turn to stream. There we go. I think we're live. See if anyone pops in. Hey, there's Cameron. What's up? Awesome. I'm gonna wait for a few more people to come in and then I'll show you what I'm doing. Mad Kiwi, what's going on? Yeah, for a second there, that was true, Cameron. Hopefully we got people rolling in. It's an unannounced live stream, but hopefully we are showing up all right. Actually, I can check. Derek, B. Valdez, George, what's going on? So, what I'm doing right now, let's see if I can do this properly. So I'm going to show you guys something that is pretty cool. I did this a couple days ago. You see that? I'm live streaming directly from my Canon G7X Mark III. How cool is that? So this camera is connected to Wi-Fi from my router, which is over there. So I don't even have to use a phone. I don't have to use a computer. I'm live streaming from YouTube. Now I did this a few days ago, but it was just like a little impromptu test at like midnight. I thought now I would actually show you guys a little bit about what I'm doing. Let's see how autofocus works. Not bad. To show you exactly what I'm doing in the other room. So, actually I'm kind of interested to hear how it sounds too, because the internal microphone is right here, and I don't know, maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. Come with me. All right. So the other day I showed a little bit of this, but this is a time lapse that I'm running right here, and I'm 3D printing. And I've been 3D printing for maybe a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, trying to learn. I have all my stuff that I've printed up here, not everything, but a good majority of it. I have some other colors that I printed too, so I'm printing another one in white. This is like a skull pencil holder. And check this out. It's been going for like 6 hours. Let's see if I can focus. 7 minutes left. So in 7 minutes, this is gonna beep, and I can show you guys a little bit about what it's like to get this thing off. So, I'm going to set this up here. Now one bad thing, see if I can zoom out. Nice. Yeah, it's cool to have an actual video camera or like photography camera live streaming. But one thing I gotta do here is open up my iPad to see your comments, because I don't actually see anything on my camera, you know? So, we got a couple people coming in. One thing I want to show is some failures and some successes of printing with 3D printing here. And I've got a few things, a couple examples of what I've been working on. We got this ship. Gonna focus. So here's a little ship, and I printed this out of ABS, which is a type of filament, and I'm printing ABS in there too. But anyway, so this is a ship made out of ABS, and I had some difficulty with some of the edges. I don't know what happened here at the top, but I've had some issues, and I realized that there's a fan, a built-in fan in the printer that really works well for PLA filaments, but not for ABS, and it kind of chews them up. But I'm going to show you something else. Trying to disturb my live stream, or my time lapse here. I'm using printer's tape as the print base on the bed there, and that was not working so well. In fact, about a week ago, I ended up damaging the original print bed, and a lot of this is just like trial and error. I've been trying to learn how to 3D print for this video review of the FlashForge Adventure 3, this thing. And yeah, I ended up damaging the print bed, and I thought, okay, what am I going to use? I had to do some research online. It turns out printer's tape is a great option, but in order to get the filament to stick on printer's tape, you got to use glue. So I've been using these glue sticks, and I just bought up 6 more of them from Harris Teeter, actually. And here's the printer's tape. I'm also using an external filament here. Normally, you would use the filament in the side there, but those only have smaller, like a smaller roll capacity, like something like this. It's small. But normal size rolls are a lot bigger, so it actually doesn't fit. So I had to use this little filler, this feeder here, this spool holder, and it goes right up in the inside. So 3 minutes left. I cannot wait, because this thing looks really awesome. But while we're still continuing on here, I'll show you a couple of the not problems, but just issues I've run into. I actually was printing a larger version of this model right here, and this was going to take about 30 hours, and I stopped it because I was realizing I was having some issues. The print bed was pulling up the painter's tape, and everything is a little bit skewed upward, and I started realizing that some of these lines are getting sandwiched together, which is not good, and a few other smaller things. So I decided, hey, you know what? I'd rather restart than try and salvage something that wasn't working. Oh, one other thing. This guy. Look at that. Let's see if I can focus on it. So this guy's made out of ABS. He is Terry the Dragon. And he's really awesome, but I was having some issues printing him because my print bed kept moving on me by accident, so I would have these issues here. This is like the very start of the print. This is like the first ½ inch. And the print bed kept scooting on me, and I can actually see that all the layers would kind of get offset from each other after maybe the first 100 layers or something, so I decided to kill these and try again. So a lot of these things are just trial and error and trying to figure out what works best for the filament that you're working with. Another cool thing, this is pretty cool. I have a ton of AA rechargeable batteries, so I printed out this this holder for them. That is so cool. And then they have a separate file for the logo here, so I printed that in white, printed all this in black. But again, I was having some issues, so like this was an old prototype model, and so was this, but I was having cracks. See all these cracks happen? These stress fractures and stuff, and warping. Like this, I bet I could, since I'm on camera, I could probably do it, but that's loose, and it could just snap right off. I could easily just break this. So, not everything has been working out fantastic, but that's the whole thing, is I'm trying to learn 3D printing to make an actual a 3D printer review that's worth its salt, you know? I want to make sure that I can make something good, something that isn't going to be, I mean, it's going to be from a learner's perspective, but not an uninformed perspective. I want it to be good, you know? So, anyway, I have no idea if this is almost done. It says 3 minutes for a little while now, but... Oh, you just purchased your first 3D printer? That's awesome. What kind did you get? Matt Kiwi says, send the skull to Ice Spike. I bet he'd like that. That's cool. George, get the gold clear material for your bed. It's the best. You get the product name? All right, I'll check it out. Print a 3D, or print a drone, Derek says. I bet you could. Is plastic the material, the printing material? Yes, so I'm using ABS. This is ABS can't remember what it stands for, but it's an acronym of some sort. And then some of the other models up here. This is PLA. Right here. A little werewolf. Actually a pretty big werewolf. And then Yoda. Yoda was printed in PLA too. And it's kind of the same style as the skull that's being printed. Kind of like that mesh sort of print style. This is a GoPro mount for an FPV quad. Now, George, you might know about this too. PLA is not a great material to print drone parts in because it's very brittle, but this is one of my first functional prints. And then I just broke it apart, but this is a T-Rex skull. It was in 2 different files, and they hinged together, just like that. Focus you. There we go. Sweet. So, anyway, just a good time. What's up, Brent? Oh, we're almost done. What's up, Mike? Hey. All right, guys. So this skull took about 6 hours. Holy crap. And this is what I was doing, taking the time lapse with my camera. I was shooting in 2 frames a second with this, with a half-second shutter speed. So with the actual time lapse, it might look pretty cool. I'm going to stop this real quick. I was running off of power from the wall, which is nice. All right, let me move the camera. Let's see what we got. Oh, also, and I'll do this, I'll say some of the stuff in the review, but I took a piece of tape and just like taped the door shut because sometimes I would get vibration from the print head and it would cause this plastic door to jostle and vibrate, and it was kind of annoying. Anyway, here we go. Oh, but yeah, build complete. There we go. Now, this thing is pretty hot. Let's see. Gonna move some of this stuff. There we go. All right. So let me put the camera down and I'm gonna try and peel this off. Oh, nice crotch shot. All right, I'm gonna let this cool a little bit. I don't wanna like start bending and trying to break it off just immediately. I'm gonna let it cool a second and we'll see if we can bend this. So it's a very flexible print bed like that, see? So that's designed to kind of break this thing off or like pop it off. But we're gonna let it sit and just kind of cool down a second. The print bed was 100 degrees Celsius, and the extruder was like 230, 235 Celsius. So it gets really hot in there. So I'm just gonna let this sit a second. Tritch301 says you just purchased your first 3D printer. That's awesome. Mike says I've wanted to try 3D printing but found my drones eating up my extra cash. Yeah, exactly right. Anycubic Chiron, is that how you say it? Chiron? Interesting. George says PEI is the material for the print bed. It's incredible. Cool. Good to know. Take off some of these little extra little bits here. Yeah, it's been a bit of a learning curve, like I said, with 3D printing. I knew it wasn't just going to be, you know, press a button and it instantly happens. But I didn't know there was so many different types of plastic and so many different things that you can do from type to type that make it print better or worse and stuff like that. This is a little something that I printed about 5 times See if I can, there it goes. So this is actually a little piece that attaches to the printer, and it's a little fan blower sort of attachment. I'm not sure what it's really called, but apparently the one that's on there isn't that great, that's stock. So someone actually designed this little printer blower duct, I guess they call that, fan duct. It's supposed to work a little bit better. So anyway, that's cool. I printed it, but it took me like 4 tries because it's kind of complex. It doesn't really have a solid bottom because of this part right here. And then I kept trying to use supports, not realizing that I didn't really need them. And so I printed without supports with this particular rendition, and it worked. All right, let's see if this is cooled down. $400 by $400 by $450. That is a huge print bed. Yeah, this is, I think, 150 by 150. All right. This very easily, well, not easily, but just like with a gentle touch, try and bend this up. It's still a little warm. Well, actually not really. The bed is warm. Okay. Coming up. And come on, there we go. Nice. It's so hardcore, man. Look at the detail. I'm not sure if that was, you could really see earlier just how this printed. That's a true test of how well. Now there are some problems there. That's not very pretty, but everything else looks pretty good. Now, I'm not sure what I could do to help that. I might maybe try printing again. I mean, that's probably about 45 degrees, maybe less. Or I would say more, actually. So it's not a problem with overhang, I don't think, but I don't know. I do have an improved assembly, a nozzle assembly coming. It's shipping from China, so it's going to take forever, but hoping that might improve some of these little anomalies like that. What do y'all think? What's up, Mel? How's it going? You have 2 printers? Nice. What printers do you have, Mel? So this is, I think it's just a brim. I don't think this is a raft, if I recall. It's been like 4 hours since I started. No, 6 hours since I started this print. But I might even just leave this on. I like that. I like how it makes it easier to stand up. So I might leave this on, and then maybe in the future, if I want to get rid of this, I can peel off this brim. This is ABS. I printed at 225 nozzle temperature and 100 Celsius bed temperature. So I found that ABS is a little more finicky than PLA. PLA just seemed to really, you can print it easy, you can pick off the supports so easy. But with ABS, if you want to print supports, you gotta be really sure that you want to print supports. You know, you can't print supports on something that's this fragile and just expect to be able to pick it off easily. Anyway, cool. Well, that's about it. I might start another one. I got to start some more time lapses because I want to do a bunch of time lapses with my review of this printer. But it's just a lot of footage, you know how long these prints take. And I printed a couple of these. I think the Dragon might have been almost 20 hours, you know? These things take a while. So if you want to do a time lapse 20 hours long, you've really got to prioritize what you're shooting. But anyway. All right, y'all. Well, I will. What's up, Claude? How's it going? PLA, yeah, PLA is so much easier. I agree. Nice. Paul says he has 10 printers here. I'm assuming you're also in the Raleigh area. Yes, I actually, I'm here, and that's cool. So, ABS, I can only go up to 235 with this printer. I can do 80C on the bed. That's definitely possible, but I cannot do any higher than 235 on the Adventurer 3. So, and that's just what I'm stuck with. You know, that's I wouldn't be 3D printing at all if it wasn't for FlashForge sending this to me for review. So that's just the cool thing about doing drone reviews is like, I would have never, ever gotten a 3D printer. But now that I'm stuck with one, I am determined to figure it out and to work it properly. So as you can tell, we're on our way. All right, guys. Yeah, it probably is a wrap, or especially because of the solid bottom, right? I should ask you. I should pick your brain, Mel. I should talk with you before I put out the review so I actually know what I'm talking about. Anyway, cool. All right, Paul, will do. Awesome, awesome. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Peace.